to my little friend!
Say hello to my little friend. Everyone knows the line. Everyone knows the poster. Tony Montana has become so iconic, he's practically a myth now. But the real power of Scarface isn't just the quotes or Pacino's insane performance. It's Brian De Palma's direction. And nowhere is that more obvious than in the Chainsaw Motel scene, a moment that turns a crime movie into something genuinely unsettling. Not because of what it shows, but because of how it makes you feel. This scene is a masterclass in tension, composition, and sound. And honestly, it's the moment that transforms Scarface from loud gangster movie into genuine filmmaking artistry. Today, we're breaking down why. The setup. Tony's just arrived in Miami, fresh off a dirty job that earned him his green card. He's hungry, ambitious, and refuses to stay small. Omar Suarez gives him and his crew a low-level drug pickup, a simple handoff in a cheap motel. Tony and Angel go inside. Manny and Chi-Chi wait outside. Easy. Except nothing about this scene feels easy. Not even from the first frame. The opening shot. Instead of a normal establishing shot, De Palma starts with a long, creeping take that lasts over a minute. We follow the guys pulling up, getting out, crossing the street. But the camera doesn't stay close. It hangs back, watching them from a distance. This is important. The camera feels like a predator, like something already has its eyes on Tony. That alone sets the tone, the sense that the danger is already in the air even before Tony steps inside the room. Inside the room. The moment Tony enters, the room feels off. Martha is lying on the bed watching TV like she doesn't belong there. Hector stands too far away from Tony, positioned across a massive, empty space. De Palma frames the room in ways that break every pleasant rule of composition. Tony is shoved to the far left. Hector is on the far right. Angel is boxed into the edge of the frame like he's already being cornered. And the only character perfectly placed on a rule of thirds intersection? Martha, a silent warning that she's not just background decoration. The split diopter. Then comes one of the most famous shots in the scene, the split diopter. Hector in the foreground, Angel behind him, perfectly sharp in the bathroom doorway. Both in focus, both demanding attention. Your eyes don't know where to rest. Your brain feels stressed. That's exactly the point. De Palma is visually telling us there are two threats in this frame, and one of them hasn't sprung yet. Layer in the weirdly calm TV show Martha is watching, and the entire scene becomes uncomfortable without anyone pulling a weapon. Cutaway to distraction. Then a horn honks outside. Angel checks. Manny is flirting with a random girl. Chi-Chi is vibing to the music. It's almost comedic, but De Palma uses that moment to make something clear. The people who are supposed to protect Tony and Angel, they're already distracted. If something goes wrong, it's just Tony and Angel in that room. No backup. The trap springs. Tony finally snaps at Hector. That's the breaking point. In one instant, two Colombians rush Angel. Martha jumps up with a silenced Uzi. Tony gets disarmed. The entire scene detonates, and De Palma switches the camera to handheld. Not messy handheld, controlled handheld. It creates panic without becoming incomprehensible. He doesn't rely on rapid editing. He lets the tension come from motion and blocking, guiding the viewer's eyes exactly where he wants them. This is directing, not chaos. The genius window shot. Hector drags Tony to the bathroom. He opens the suitcase. The cocaine is there. So is the chainsaw. Meanwhile, Martha calmly turns up the TV volume, one of the coldest gestures in the film. Then comes the brilliant part. The camera moves toward the window. Cut. We're outside. And suddenly it's a beautiful Miami afternoon. Sunlight, seagulls, ocean waves, people relaxing, Manny flirting, Chi-Chi chilling. The violence is literally inches away, but the world outside is totally unaware. This contrast, brutality versus paradise, is what makes the scene feel disturbingly real. Violence doesn't pause the world. It happens inside it. Then the camera rises back toward the window, the street ambience fades out, and the sound of the chainsaw fades back in. It's chilling. The chainsaw back inside, the camera slowly pulls back, revealing everyone in the room one by one. De Palma actually gives the audience time to absorb the horror before it truly begins. And then, Angel is tortured. But here's the incredible thing. De Palma never shows the blade hitting flesh. There's no gore shot, no graphic close-up, no shock value. It's all the scream, the sound of the chainsaw, a spray of blood, and Tony's face. Pacino sells the entire moment. He's scared, but not broken. Terrified, but refusing to surrender. His performance is what makes the violence feel real. The scene was almost given an X rating, yet technically, we barely see anything. It's filmmaking by implication, and that's why it's so effective. The rhythm shifts. Angel is killed. Manny finally senses something is wrong. The editing becomes faster, sharper, more urgent. No more elegant long takes. Now the scene moves like a heartbeat speeding up. As the camera backs out of the bathroom, the TV show Martha was watching reappears. A house collapsing. A visual omen. The entire situation is seconds from imploding. Manny reaches the door. He hears the chainsaw, and De Palma slams the tension open with gunfire. Chaos. The quiet dread that's been building for minutes explodes. Gunshots, blood, glass shattering, Hector escaping, Tony fighting for his life. And in the middle of all that, we get two character-defining Tony Montana moments. One, he checks on Manny before anything else. There's loyalty under all that ego. Two, he immediately yells at Chi-Chi to grab the drugs. Even covered in blood, he's thinking about the score. Those two impulses, protect your friends, chase your ambition, define Tony's entire arc. The execution. Tony chases Hector into the street. Instead of shooting him right away, he circles around, forces him to face him, and kills him in broad daylight in front of witnesses. De Palma mirrors the earlier wide shot where Tony and Hector first faced each other in the motel. But this time, Tony owns the frame. No imbalance, no empty space, just dominance. This is the only scene in the entire film where Tony is actually called Scarface. It's symbolic. This is his rebirth moment. Violence gives him his identity. Conclusion. The motel scene is more than a shocking moment. It's a display of absolute filmmaking control. Long takes that build pressure, uncomfortable framing, split diopter paranoia, controlled handheld chaos, sound transitions that act like gut punches, violence done through suggestion, not gore, character revealed through extreme choices. It's the perfect combination of craft and emotion. And it's the moment where Scarface stops being a crime drama and becomes cinema that really affects the viewer. This isn't just a violent scene, it's Brian De Palma proving he's a master of film language. And it's the scene that elevates Scarface into a true classic.